Okay, so the last album of 2019 that I'm going to talk about is something that I probably should have talked about last week because I had some time, but I wanted to recuperate. So, I am going to talk about the recent Amethyst album, Resurrection. Now, normally I have some kind of witty intro for this kind of video, but I think the best way to talk about it is just to explain the evolution of an artist within the same year. Now, if I remember correctly, Amethyst said that they dropped 5 projects this year, which is astounding in and of itself, but dropping a huge, mountainous 22-track project, 21-track project, I believe it is, but that is insane. Like, none of the songs stretch longer than 4 minutes, which is good because sometimes when you have an album that has a 5-minute track, it's got to be ear-catching to the point where you want to constantly keep paying attention to the track. And the opener for the album, outside of the intro, Decaf, is one of the highest listened to songs that they've talked about, to my knowledge, because it's such a banger for it to open like that. And it just keeps folding into different styles. You really can't put Amethyst into a box. And with only a few songs on here being produced by Amethyst, the intro, the interlude, and the outro, if I'm not mistaken, is amazing. Now, seeing that there is a wildcard feature on here, I really enjoyed that song. I really, really enjoyed that song. And there's a... gosh, I wish it was Adam, but it's a damn. And it's just because of the wording. A Damn Killer is on here. And that feature was thrown out as a single, and I really enjoyed that. But going into my favorite feature, The City in Flames with Mixie is my favorite track on this album. Now, my favorite solo track honestly has to be I Know, because of that electronic vibe in the track, and it also has just really spacey vocals. I really enjoyed that. And it's just not like anything I've heard on Medusa. And that was just so far out of pocket for me. When Amethyst was talking about building up the project, it was like, hey, I'm not doing the same thing that you thought I was on the last project. It's something totally different every track. And that's extremely important. I've talked about this several times on other videos where evolution is important, but also variety, because having variation in your project to not stay in the same area of I can rap better than you or I can sing better than you, which there's actually people that do that. And then there's the I feel like shit because of my past addiction, or I feel like shit because of talking about family members that treat me like shit. You know, you have to have those topic variations, because if you stay in one lane the whole time, you're going to sound like insert mainstream artist here, and it's not going to be good. And that's one of the things that I've learned this year with a lot of the underground artists that I've listened to, is that they don't say the same things. They may use the same word, but they might not just say the same exact thing. And that's important, because looking back on all the people that I've listened to within the past 15 years of my hip-hop listening, it's important to understand that you can use the same words. You can even use the same phrase. You can adapt the same phrase. Because there was an article in XXL talking about how people use the same phrase roughly in their tracks to pay homage to other people. So you can do that. You can use the homage to pay that respect to the person that you're referencing the line to. Frank Lee did it with one of his songs, and it's important to realize that, you know, he's not trying to be a Bones clone. And Amethyst is just trying to be Amethyst. There is no other person in comparison. There's just Amethyst. And that's extremely important. Individuality is important, underground artists. You need to understand that. You need to be your own person. You can't be, rest in peace, Lil Peep. You can't be, rest in peace, Mac Miller. You can't be, dear God, please don't, Eminem. You can't be R.A. the Rugged Man, Tech N9ne, Recognize. You can't be a damn killer. You can't be Ghost. Anybody that has clout, no clout, medium clout, schmedium clout. You can't have anything like that. you just have to be yourself. And that's what Resurrection is. Resurrection is an album about being yourself and finding those special parts about your character to build them up and be one amazing artist to catch anybody's attention. Because when I first heard Amethyst this year, that caught my attention. But nevertheless, 2019 was an amazing year. Thank you everybody for subscribing, watching, whatever. In the time that you guys have been watching the videos, I've gotten into a more refined mode of how to approach these records and projects. And I've actually reviewed my first production project. But in 2020, I'm going to be reviewing a lot more than just rappers and producers. I'm going to try and do more than that. I'm going to try and go into music videos because one of the ALC members, Switch, contacted me and talked to me about this, and I think it's extremely important to talk about that too. Now, there are going to be a lot more videos of me and people that I know coming onto this channel in 2020, and I think that's just important enough to the point where we need to start building ourselves up. It can't just be one person putting a video out on a channel. It's got to be several people. We got to try and build ourselves up somehow. So on Tuesday, I'll be dropping my projects of the year for 2019. So keep an eye out for that. Although this isn't for sale anymore, you guys should definitely check out Don't Worry. This brand is amazing. The people behind it are amazing. And I highly recommend you guys check them out and follow them up for their next merch drop. And I have a Surrender shirt underneath it here, and I highly recommend you guys check them out too. Their recent drop was in regards to purchasing shirts or sweatshirts, and then they would end up planting trees so that we can breathe oxygen and be happy, you know, be humans. So thank you guys for an amazing 2019. Let's do it even better in 2020. I will see you on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay selfish. Peace.